Well, hello out there. Welcome to Relationship Coaching Live. So we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and Twitch. So on any of those platforms, except on Instagram, I can't see the comments on Instagram, but or LinkedIn. But on the other platforms, I can see the comments. So feel free to comment during the live or after the live. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're giving too much in a relationship and not getting enough back? Oh yeah, right? Or maybe you've walked away from a date thinking, did I just agree to something I'm not comfortable with? If that's you, you're not alone. Setting boundaries in dating isn't about building walls. It's about creating a safe, respectful space where love can truly thrive. So let's dive in because it's time to level up your dating game and attract the love you deserve. So, we're going to dive deep today into something that can literally change the game in your love life, and it's healthy boundaries. Boundaries aren't about just pushing people away, they're about honoring yourself, your needs, and creating the kind of relationships where respect and love can actually grow. Let's break it down together. So, part one, I removed it. I didn't remove it. I put like segment one, part two. It's all like bullet pointed for you. And I think that this eyelash is kind of like acting up. But anyway, all right. So let's go to part one. Why healthy boundaries are essential in dating. Why are they? Well, first of all, it's important to create a safe and respectful space. So let's talk about that. Okay. And let me actually change these so we can put the creating the space on top and the part one at the bottom there. So um, creating a safe and respectful space. What is that? Well, boundaries allow both partners to feel safe, heard, and valued. Without boundaries, you're just guessing what the other person needs, right? And what happens? Well, that can lead to a whole lot of confusion and frustration. As a matter of fact, I always back it up with scientific studies. There are scientific studies like those by Dr. John Gottman. They show that mutual respect is a key predictor of long term relationship satisfaction. Healthy boundaries help build that respect from day one. Healthy boundaries. So, I have actually a story from a fan here, and welcome to those that are joining right now. And send me, by the way, DM me your stories. If you have dating stories, love stories, relationship stories, and I will definitely talk about them. Fake names, don't worry. I'll talk about them during the live, relationship coaching live. So, we're talking about creating a safe and respectful space, okay? Um, my fan goes, Grace, I always felt like I had to say yes to everything on the first few dates. Haven't we all been there where it's like, oh, yeah, whatever. Do you want to do this? Well, I don't want to. Do you want to go parachuting? Well, I don't want to like risk my life, but okay, we'll go. We've all done that, right? I've done it. I know I've done it. So she says, but after watching your videos, I started setting simple boundaries. Well, good for you. Like saying no to late night texts. Yes. That's like after 9 p.m. or even 10 p.m. pushing it. No. And guess what? She says the right kind of people respected that. It was a game changer. Yes, because you are the one that sets the boundaries of what's acceptable to you and what's comfortable for you. And they're going to push the boundaries. Some people will. Some people are more respectful. Some people will push the boundaries. And you're like, you know what? That's not my jam. All right. So here's a practical tip, my darlings. At the start of dating, have a casual conversation about your comfort zones, right? Whatever those may be. It doesn't have to be like intense, just a simple, hey, I value getting to know someone at a slow pace. That by itself just can do wonders because some people, especially narcissists, and we know this, right? Because we talk about it here a lot, they want to push things faster because they want things to happen now because they want to gain your trust real quick and they know they don't have a lot of time. So, yeah, that's going to happen. All right. So let's go to not part two, but number two of why healthy boundaries are essential in dating, which if you see the ticker down there. Okay. So we're going to go to number two, which is preventing resentment and conflict. Now, what is that about? Well, when we don't communicate our boundaries, what happens? Resentment builds, right? That slow simmering frustration when you feel unseen or unheard. Now that's resentment, and it can tank a relationship really fast. When you tell someone, I don't feel comfortable with you texting me at 10 p.m., and they still do it. Yeah, that's pushing the boundaries and not good. Not good. You have to tell them from the get-go. I find that if you tell somebody from the get-go, it's so much easier and you don't build that anger and resentment with, what they're doing. However, sometimes you tell them the first time and then the person keeps doing the same thing over and over. Well, there's a problem. That's a personality problem on their end. And you can tell them, but if they don't respect you, maybe it's time to go ahead and date somebody else. That's all I'm saying. Now, there's a scientific backing for what I am saying right now, which is preventing resentment and conflict. Now, studies from the Journal of Marriage and Family suggest that unresolved conflicts and boundary violations are common reasons for relationship dissatisfaction. Did you hear that? Unresolved conflicts and boundary violations. Those are the two things that will make a relationship go south. Okay. So it's very, very important to set your boundaries from the get-go. And if they don't listen, then you need to seek help, couples therapy or something, or maybe just drop the person. I mean, I was married to somebody that I was telling him something. I told him literally for like 10 years. And I think I waited too long. I should have just cut it out like immediately because it was like, maybe he wasn't listening. Maybe he couldn't, do or try to do, what I was asking him to do, and not in a bossy way or anything. I was like, I feel like this would make me feel better. But, and I think I did listen to him, but maybe I didn't listen to him either. I was younger and we all learn on the go, right? So I'm not blaming everything on my exes because only for comedy purposes I do that, right? Because I'm a comedian, as you guys know. But in real life, it's like it goes both ways. Now, sometimes when you're dating a narcissist, it's just a one-way street. But you're participating in it either by ignorance because you don't know what's going on, or because it's a wound from your childhood and you're just repeating the pattern. So you need to seek help in that case, right? All right. So as usual, we have a fan DM. They say, I dated someone who constantly made plans last minute, and I dropped everything for him. I thought I was being flexible, but I ended up feeling invisible. Yep. Now I communicate my need for advanced planning. The right people understand, and it's been a huge shift. Absolutely. Nothing worse than feeling unheard or unseen. It's just like, why would you be with someone who's not listening or who doesn't see you for who you are? It's like, no, you want to be with someone who aligns with your values and just appreciates you and cherishes you and loves you, and some people just don't know how to do that, or they learn how to do that later in life. Some people are naturals. They know how to do that immediately, right? Um, so, okay. So let me see. Ta-da-da-da-da. Practical tip. I was just looking at something. Sorry, guys. I'm engineering the show and I get distracted. Practical tip. Okay. Write down situations that have caused past resentments. Then think about which boundary could have prevented it. It's a simple way to start protecting your peace. I am a very big proponent of writing things down. Okay. So, because sometimes, I wish I would have done that with my narcissistic abuser because I would be like, just dismiss it. Maybe he's angry, or maybe I did this, or maybe he's mad about that, or maybe, no, you know what? If I would have written it down, I would have had like 25 unfounded um, being angry at me, or very low key, like something I did very low key. And it's like, well, you're overreacting, I think. Um, and I don't say usually overreacting because I respect people's feelings, but when it comes to a narcissist, they do overreact for manipulation purposes. So that's the thing. Welcome to all that are joining from YouTube and Twitch. Thank you for being here, guys. Looks like the Facebook stream did not go through for some reason. Whatever, it's all good. But anyway, thank you for being here. Please, in the comments, if you have any comments or any questions, I'm happy to answer and happy to post your comment. By the way, this video is brought to you by the State of Grace, and I have a little free gift for you. If you go to the pinned comment, you will see a guide that is about healthy dating boundaries. So if you want to go ahead and order it, it's $0. It's a PDF download, $0. You go to the stateofgraceshop.com and it's going to be there for free for you guys to download it. So anyway, also remember, subscribe, like, share, and comment. And again, check the pinned comment. Okay. All right, my loves. So number 3 of why healthy boundaries are essential to dating. Okay. And it's going to be attracting partners who understand, who value respect. Also this is part of understanding your needs and values, because we just are leading the conversation towards that, right? So reflecting, attracting partners who respect, okay, who value respect, not just respect you, but they value respect. They crave respect, and so they give respect. A lot of people are just so disrespectful, they insult, and they just they're not kind, and it's like, no. I am a big proponent of, like, if something doesn't work out, I don't have patience anymore in my life. I've reached an age where it's like I don't have the patience to wait for this person to wake up, or to be enlightened. So I feel like this is just my personal experience and my personal belief. It's best to attract somebody that's already kind of healed, or pretty much even 80% healed, because if you're healed and you date an unhealed person, there's so much work. I mean, it can work, but it's a lot of work, you guys. And also it's so random, and so whatever, it could work, it could not. And so my advice to you guys is always make sure that the person, if they're not healed, nobody's completely healed. I don't believe that's the case. But if they're on the healed side, that they are kind of like at the same level that you are in that arena, right? Okay, so let's go back to attracting partners who value respect. Dr. Brené Brown's research shows that individuals with clear boundaries are more likely to attract partners who are emotionally available and respectful. Again, those boundaries, right? We got to have those boundaries, guys. Clear boundaries, because when you have boundaries, you also create this aura of respect. because people know they can't cross those lines. So it's not about like closing yourself off, but it's surrounding yourself with kind of, I call it like a transparent wall, right? Where you can see them, they can see you, but they just, it's like, you know what? You can try to cross that boundary, but you're gonna go like this on a plexiglass, like I'm trying, but I can't. So that's how I see it, right? Now, here's a fan DM, you guys. They say, I used to think, I did. Let me tell you what I did. I shot Maurice the French Ladies Man because I do sketch comedy. By the way, it's on my YouTube. There are little clips, but on my Patreon, if you go to my Patreon, The State of Grace Fraga, patreon.com/The State of Grace Fraga, you'll find it there. It's going to drop tomorrow. It's hilarious. And I'm not saying that. People are saying that saw it are hilarious. It's hilarious. So it's dropping on Thursday this week. But anyway, so that's why I'm like, the think. So think. Sorry. I do so many accents that it's kind of like sometimes my poor mouth and tongue are like, which accent do you want me to pull up today? But anyway, so I used to think, this is a fan DM, I used to think setting boundaries would push people away, but it actually did the opposite. See? I met my partner after being upfront about needing alone time every weekend. He respected it, and that's how I knew he was the real deal. Absolutely. If people love you and respect you, and they just respect your boundaries, healthy boundaries, of course, they're more into you than somebody who's like trying to push your boundaries. And that's also very immature to try to push boundaries. It's like, mommy, daddy, I'm trying to push your boundaries. It's like, dude, grow up, or girl, grow up, it's like whatever. So practical tip for you guys to attract partners who value respect. Notice how potential partners react when you share a boundary. Respectful people will honor your needs. Those who don't aren't your people. So we want, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So we want to attract our tribe. So to attract what you want, you got to be that and embody that. You want to attract people that are healed. If you're healed, that's what you're going to attract. If you want to attract, if you're in a victim mentality and, oh, I always attract narcissists, you're going to attract narcissists. I'm telling you from experience. I'm not making this up, you guys. That's why I became a relationship coach. People are like, well, you were married twice and da da da. It's like, you know what? That's exactly it. I learned from all my successes and my failures, and I'm bringing the experience to you. And I also studied to be a relationship coach. I am certified by IAP. But that's why I wanted to become a relationship coach, because I'm like, I know so much about relationships now that I really want to bring that knowledge, share the knowledge, and share my experiences and share my stories, and also hear your stories and hear your experiences. I love that. Oh, the professors. Well, hello. I hope you're having a good day. I enjoy this episode. Thank you. Yes, feel free to comment. I love it. Thank you for being here, Jesse. I love you to pieces, and I am always happy to see you on the lives, always. Okay, so let's go to part 2, and that would be, let me put this, guys, I'm engineering this show as we go, but I did write the banners, so, which is good. So part 2 is going to be understanding your needs and values, which is what we're walking towards, right? Okay, so understanding your needs and values. So first of all, before we understand our needs and values, we got to, let me put it here. Okay, sorry. Why is this understanding? Okay, here it is. Okay. We got to, sorry guys, it's just engineering. It's like trying to keep my eyes focused on you and then trying to also, post the banners and everything. Eventually I'll be able to afford an engineer, but right now, not really, not on the budget. Okay. So understanding your needs and values. The first thing is, let me change it, and it's reflecting on personal values. Boom, right there. Okay. So I would suggest take a moment to jot down your top 5 relationship values. Okay. Now think honesty, independence, emotional connection, um, athleticism, whatever, takes care, good hygiene, whatever feels right for you. Right. I do have a long list, by the way. And as I get older, it gets longer. It's going to get longer for you too, guys. It gets long. But take a moment to just reflect on your personal values before you even put yourself out there on a dating app. What are your values? What are your values? Okay. And what are your top relationship values? Top 5. I would say top 10. Put top 5, but just write as many as you want. It could be top 20. I don't care. Just whatever. I'm thinking top 5 because some people will be like, that's it for me. Okay. So here's a fan DM. And he said, writing down my values was eye opening. I realized the humor and intellectual connection are non negotiables for me. See, I would say for me too. Yeah, I agree. Humor and intellectual connection for sure. He says it saved me from wasting time on the wrong dates. That's right. Listen, you guys, dating was like a sport at some point on the dating apps. And I'm talking before my cancer journey. I was dating a lot. And if I would have taken my own advice, well, now I know better because I had experience, of doing this the right way or the wrong way. So I would just waste so much time, like literally hours and hours, probably weeks of my life. Just, by the time you text them, you meet them, and you're like, there were like 2 or 3 red flags. I did not pay attention to it. And red flags could be like real red flags, or it could be like red flags to you. Like, they don't have a sense of humor. They don't like to discuss stuff. They talk about stuff that I'm not interested in, which happens a lot. Sometimes people, I don't know if it happens to you, like I'm on a date and they start talking about stuff that I'm like, that's what's happening inside me. And I have ADHD. So I start just like going on, what do I have to do next week? Oh, that movie was fun. Oh my God. Okay, pay attention, Grace. What are they talking about? And they ask you questions. They're like, yeah, sure. And I have no idea what the question is because I'm not paying attention because I'm not interested. So when that happens, just not for you. Okay. And sometimes, we're like, I want to find somebody. I want to be with someone, especially us, those of us who are romantic. Um, I'm telling you guys, no, don't waste your time. And also I remember I used to try to fit, what is it called? Like a round screw in a square. It's like not gonna happen. Okay. And here the professors, Jesse says, sometimes you can't take your own advice. Be gentle on yourself first. Absolutely. Be gentle on yourself. Yes. I don't know about you, Jesse, but sometimes I am not very gentle of myself. I'm like, dang it. But then it's like, okay, forgive yourself, love yourself, and learn for next time, right? But thank you for that reminder because, yeah, I tend to be a little harsh on myself, not on others, which is weird, but I'm a little bit harder on myself. That's my Virgo. See, I have a lot of Virgo. By the way, this eyelash is driving me crazy, you guys. It's like so. I put on eyelashes for you today. Oh, that's why it's going up. Okay. I think it's better now. I put on eyelashes for you. How about that? Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's going up. Oh my God. This is so weird. Okay. All right. I think I fixed it. It was looking like, all right, it might go up again. And Jesse says, yep, it's life. What can you say? Yeah, totally. Right. It's life. That's the way it goes, man. All right. So here's a practical tip for you guys. Revisit your values monthly. Relationships change, and so can your priorities. What we were looking in our 20s is different in our 30s or 40s and so forth, right? So it's different. It just changes because you change. Hopefully, some people don't change. Like I know my ex-husband wants the same things from a woman, and so he married somebody that would give him what he needs, and and that's fine. He hasn't changed. That's the guy that we had problems because he wouldn't change things. Not even change, but like listen. But anyway, sidebar. So yeah, revisit your values, your relationship values, your personal values. I'm a big believer in writing things down. Look, see, I'm not joking. I have, by the way, I'm sorry about this nail. It's kind of messed up, but yeah, see, I have this, and this is for just today, right? Like, so I remember what to say. So, and it changes. It might change in a month. I might just, think of something else and just change what I say during the lives. So, same with your priorities and your relationship priorities. Okay, so let me see. All right, so understanding your needs and values. If you see the ticker at the bottom, that's what we're doing right now. And the next thing is going to be dun, 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 identifying non negotiables. Okay, for example, trust, loyalty, emotional safety, communication. I mean, these are the big ones for me and for many, many people. I coach people, and I'm telling you, those are to me, from what I've heard in sessions, the four most um, looked for, things like the non-negotiables, the biggest four, the top four. So trust, loyalty, emotional safety, and communication. Some people don't care about trust. They have an open relationship, but there's still trust involved in an open relationship, right? To have safe schmacks. I don't want to say the word so YouTube doesn't flag me. And this eyelash is still going crazy. Okay, sorry. It drives me nuts. That's Jesse, that's my Virgo. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, so yeah, so just write a list. What are my non-negotiables? I like somebody who has a sense of humor. To some people, that's a non-negotiable because they love to have fun. Right here. So it could be something else. It could be, again, good hygiene. It could be social, or be a hermit, or be nice to my family. I mean, there's so many non-negotiables. And I would definitely, even if somebody feels like they're the perfect person, I would definitely, if they have a big non-negotiable, this is driving me crazy again. If they have a big non-negotiable, then yeah, go ahead and just reconsider the situation. All right, just gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna have a funky eyelash anyway. All right, I have to live with that. My Virgo side has to live with that. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so here's a fan DM. Before I read the fan DM, let's see. There's a comment. Libra say realign your chakra. Yes. Yes, realign your chakras, right? Because your guys are all about balance. Absolutely. Yes. Um, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna take it off. What do you think? Should I take my eyelash off because it's driving me so freaking nuts? What do you think, Libra? I'm gonna just go like this. Look, I just took them off. I took my eyelashes off. All right, good. And you're probably, the top is probably not pretty, but that's okay. It's kind of like a Jackson Pollock because it's, they're magnetic, by the way, and you can get them at the State of Grace shop. If you ever want to get them, they're fantastic. No, actually, you can get it at my Amazon, not the State of Grace shop. Let me put it right there, Amazon.com. Then you see it /shop/ the State of Grace. Magnetic eyelashes, they're really good unless you don't put the whole, magnetic thing all the way. That's what happened. I didn't put it all the way. Live and learn. Anyway, they're really good, by the way. Anyway, if you're a woman or a man who likes to wear eyelashes, or a woman who likes to wear eyelashes, these are for you. All right. Libra say jelly donut. Yeah. Okay. Jelly donut. I like that. I love jelly donuts. Oh my God. You're making me hungry. Now you're making me crave it. Okay. So let's go back to identifying non-negotiables. So the fan DM it says the following. I spent years compromising on my need for clear communication. Now I say up front that honesty is my love language. It's like cutting through the dating noise. Yep. Honesty, you know what? Honesty, I think probably 99% of people want honesty. Who wants a liar? Who wants a cheater? We don't want that, right? So, yeah, honesty is a big one. Definitely. Practical tip, you guys. Create a non-negotiable checklist and share it with a close friend. Sometimes speaking out loud solidifies it. I actually had a friend and we read each other's non-negotiables and what we're looking, and like a week later, she found somebody that fit the whole thing and they're still together. I never found mine, but that's okay. She probably has better manifesting powers. This was years ago. I think today I probably have better manifesting powers than I had before. Before I was like, I want all these things, but my luck is so crappy that I probably never find them. So if you have that mentality, you're not going to manifest it. But my friend, no, she had it and she got it. I'm telling you, very smart. All right. So understanding your needs and values. As you can see the ticker, this is what we're talking about. And the next point we're going to talk about is, like I was saying before, learning from past experiences, right? Um, so here's a journal prompt for you. By the way, before I give you a journal prompt, go to the pinned comment. I have a free guide based on this podcast today. I already published the free guide. You can get it at the State of Grace shop. Just go to the pinned comment. You'll see it on YouTube, and subscribe to my YouTube, like, comment, and share. Okay. So actually, before we go to learning from past experiences, the journal prompt, let me show you something. I wrote a book on dating, okay? And it's a fun guide to dating. So it's also available at the State of Grace shop. And I wanted to show you a little video I made for you. Dating is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is full of frogs and weird DMs. But who says you can't have fun while you're searching for that needle or prince? Say goodbye to dating disasters and hello to love that lights up your world. In Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating, I spill all the secrets to navigating the dating scene with grace, humor, and just the right amount of sass. Whether you're swiping left or making eye contact across the room, I'll show you how to attract love like a magnet. It's time to stop waiting for love and start living it. Get your copy of Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating today, and let the magic begin. All right, let's go back to learning from past experiences. Okay, so I suggest you do this journal prompt. What did my last relationship teach me about my boundaries? What did it teach you? Mine taught me, let me see, my last relationship. Make sure that you date somebody who is not married, because they lie to you sometimes. Yeah. So that was one thing that I learned about boundaries. Like the boundary would be I had a PI actually that used to do like research everybody, like check them, everybody doing a background check. But then I stopped doing it. And so, but now you can do it. You don't need a PI for a background check. You can just do it and make sure, go on their socials. I went on their socials, but this person didn't have it. He was quote unquote separated, but still living in the same place as the wife. So yeah, that happens a lot. So now that taught me like research, make sure that this person is not married or in a relationship. And again, the socials don't, sometimes they lie because they don't put, and that's another, by the way, that's a red flag. If somebody you're dating does not put you on the socials, you know they're cheating, right? So yeah, so just if they don't mention you or anything, some people do like their privacy. They don't want to, if they're public, But I mean, even when I was, dating and I was public, I am still public, a public person as a comedian. I definitely put who I was dating if I really cared about them, if the relationship was solid. So, yeah, so make sure, what did your last, just write down what did your last relationship teach you about your boundaries. Oh, here's a fan DM, by the way. Okay. So here they say, looking back, I realized I kept quiet about things that bothered me. Thinking I was keeping the peace. That is so common. But the peace cost me my self respect. Yes. So sometimes we don't want to stir the pot, right? We don't want to we're like, well, I'll just put up with it. It's okay. But then, it keeps happening. I don't know, man. You need to speak up. And I'm telling myself that because I used to not speak up and would be in relationships that would get worse and worse because they would, you know, totally break my boundary, cross my boundary, but they didn't even know, right? That it would bother me, even though my face kind of says a lot. But you gotta, don't count on your face if you're very expressive. Just tell them out flat out. Like, look, listen, this is not what I like. I feel like always put it on yourself. Like I feel like, right? That's very basic, but we all have to remember to do that. Here's a practical tip for you guys, because I always have practical tips. Identify 3 boundaries you wish you'd set earlier and commit to practicing them moving forward. So, what are boundaries that you wish in your past relationship that you set earlier and commit to practicing them moving forward? One boundary for me would be like, I don't want to move fast. And sometimes I tell them, but they want what they want. So that doesn't work for me. If you're not listening to what I'm saying, um, I listen to you. I understand you want things to go fast. So I'm listening. So that tells me maybe you're not that interested in a long term relationship. So I'm listening, but you listen to me too. And if you listen to me, I don't want to go fast, but you're trying to go fast because you want to do things fast. So but just look at those red flags. Look at what are the red flags in general in the big picture, right? Which are for all of us. And what are red flags for you personally? Okay. And of course, we always have the sirens as a background music for all my lives. You hear them? A lot of them. Yes, there you go. I'm telling you, it never fails. All right, my loves. So let's go to part 3 because, as you know, I always got part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so organized. That's my Virgo. All right. So, part 3, and it's going to be on the ticker. It's going to be communicating your wait, here it is. Communicating your boundaries clearly and assertively. And we're going to make this a ticker, okay? Here we go. And so it's part 3, communicating your boundaries clearly and assertively. I repeated it because I am also telling myself that, because like I told you, I used to not set boundaries very well, and that really doesn't work. All right. So, like we talked before, right? Using I statements. I feel uncomfortable when plans are changed to last minute. Feels better than you always change plans. It's more accusatory, which, yes, we're mad at them that they change plans or we're annoyed, but just be smart and just put it on you. They can't be mad. And if they're mad because you feel a certain way, then run. That's all I'm saying. I would run. I would run. Here's a fan DM, because I love my fans that sent me their experiences, and I love my fans or my community. Let's put my community. I don't know why I say fans, because I'm a comedian. I'm used to saying fans. But my community. That when you send me a DM, I love it, and I will post it here. And I love it when you comment during the live and after the live. Love that. because I'm building community in this channel of YouTube and all my socials where it's about helping each other. And that's my goal. And as you know, my tagline is your journey to joyful living, right? So that's what I'm all about. Everything I do is our journey together to joyful living. So we're going to talk about the DM that I got. Learning to say I feel statements has totally changed how I date. It feels less confrontational and more honest. Absolutely. Because a lot of people don't like to be confronted with stuff, right? I certainly don't. Sometimes when people accuse me, I'm like, you get defensive. We all do. Or sometimes if it's a good friend, even if it's a good friend, to be honest, if they accuse me of something, I'm like, huh? But if they say, hey, I feel that blah, blah, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, or I I think I told it on another live. I have a friend who, we text each other a certain topic and she was overwhelmed by that topic. I didn't know that, right? And so she was like, I love you, but can you like give me a break from sending these things? I know we always do that, but right now it's so overwhelming. And I was like, I'm so freaking Lily. But see, she put it on herself that it was overwhelming for her, which was actually true. It wasn't a lie. But it just worked so much better because I actually even had empathy. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't know. If I would have known earlier, I definitely would have stopped. But she told me she's very bold. So she told me early enough. And that's why we're still friends because, she tells me stuff like upfront. Some people like myself, you guys, we don't understand subtlety. Like you need to tell me upfront in a nice way, loving way, or else I get defensive. We all do. I think we can all relate to that, right? Practical tip, my loves. Practice rewriting tough conversations into I statements. It builds confidence. I statements. Say after me, I feel that. I see that. I feel. I think I feel is the best one rather than I see because I see is an observation and that could be taken as a criticism. So I think with I feel we're all very safe. We're safe and we're good. Okay, my loves. So the next part part of part 3, communicating your boundaries clearly and assertively, is being specific and providing examples. Okay, that's very good. In anything that we do, being specific always helps. Sometimes, like I have both abstract and detail mind, which is not common. I heard some people are more abstract, and so what happens is then people that are more detailed don't understand. But I think we all understand detail. Be specific, like okay, I feel like you were sexist when you said this and that, right? Be clear. It's just being clear. Okay, you guys, like I prefer texting during the day and calls in the evening. Clarity eliminates confusion. Okay. I used to have a neighbor. He was part Italian. Oh, he was Italian. Joe, that was his name. And he would be like, Grace. This was in New Orleans in the South. Grace, straight talk makes straight sense. Straight talk makes plain sense. You would say that. That was his voice. I swear to God. In the South, I mean, I love people in the South in New Orleans. Their accent is so adorable. By the way, I have a character named Belle. She is in I created her in honor of all the Southern belles. And you can actually, I did a bell marathon this past Saturday, so you can check it on my YouTube under sketch comedy. I have characters and I keep adding shows and characters. And also on my Patreon, Belle is very popular on my Patreon and my OnlyFans, which is only for comedy. And so, yes, but anyway, all right, let's keep going, my loves. So here's a DM that I got regarding this topic. And this person says, I used to think people should just know my boundaries. But when I got specific, it actually reduced misunderstandings. Absolutely. We assume that people will respect you. We assume that people will not call you after 10 p.m. But some people don't have those boundaries. So we got to let them know kindly and lovingly. And that's the way it is. So, practical tip, write out the boundaries you want to set and rehearse saying them aloud. Practice makes confidence. Okay. So, if you practice, I practice sometimes. I don't even necessarily look in the mirror, but like you can look in the mirror if you want, and just see how you look. Sometimes, I look like at myself, like the eyelash, and I'm like, I look really sad. No, I need to say it with more confidence. And just say it with confidence, right? Like, hey, I feel this is I don't feel comfortable or I feel uncomfortable because it's better to do a positive one than negative. I feel uncomfortable with you. No, with you, not with you. See, I'm going with the flow. I feel uncomfortable getting texts after midnight. If we don't use the word you, but see how my thought process was to say you, and it's almost accusatory because that we all do that, right? A lot of us. I'm not going to say all, but a lot of us do that. So practice, because see, I just practiced saying something without rehearsing it and see how it came out. I corrected myself like 2 or 3 times. Anyway, let's keep going. So, part 3 is about communicating your boundaries clearly and assertively. Say no kindly and firmly. For example, thanks for the invite, but I need some downtime. Did I say downtown tonight? I think I want to go shopping downtown LA. They have a lot of good deals. Okay, moving on. Thanks for the invite, but I need some downtime tonight. Simple, direct, kind, right? There's a DM from a fan. The first time I said no without over explaining. Yes, I felt so powerful. Like, who knew 2 letters could feel so good? Okay, raise your hand if you're into over explaining? So now I practice again. Like I might even write it down on one of my many, many flashcards. So just practice being direct and not over explaining. Because when people over explain to me, this is what I feel. I feel like they're hiding something, like it's not 100% honest. And sometimes we're not over explaining because of that. Sometimes some of us have ADHD, so we're going to bring details in that are not connected sometimes. And, the person is like, huh? What are you trying to say? So I find, especially again, if you're ADHD, just practice, keep it simple, write it down, and just say it in a very direct way. Don't repeat it because I know like a lot of ADHDs, we have the cousin of ADHD is OCD, so we do repeat things sometimes. So just say it one time and retrain yourself. That's a good thing. We should talk about that in another relationship coaching live, how to retrain your thoughts. Because if you retrain your thoughts, your emotions will follow, right? And vice versa. When you have an emotion, if you kind of take charge of it, if you have it like a negative emotion and you take charge of it with your mind, like, okay, I know I'm angry, but I need to calm down, whatever. So it works both ways. Thoughts to emotions, emotions to thoughts. Okay. See how I kept it simple right there? I'm trained. I'm trained. So anyway, practical tip for you guys. Start small. Practice saying no in low stakes scenarios and work your way up. Yes, absolutely. So start small, work it out, practice with a friend. Sometimes I call my friends, hey, does this sound okay if I tell this person this? And maybe they'll have notes for me. And, because they'll see how it feels to them. And then I think like running stuff by friends or a therapist is good. If you can't afford a therapist, then just do it with a friend. They're like our best therapist. They're better than therapy, aren't they? I love my friends. Do you guys love your friends? I definitely do love them. So before we close, I wanted to let you know I am so excited. I have planned an event for Saturday, April 5th. and it's called Your Journey to Joyful Living, which is, if you see all my socials, the banner is Your Journey to Joyful Living. That's what I do. Everything I do is towards that, right? So, another siren, by the way. Yeah, very joyful. Um, Sorry, it's so loud. Can you guys hear it? Let me know in the comments because it's so loud. Oh my God. There must be like a fire or something crazy. LA is crazy, let me tell you. Living on a busy street in LA is insane. But anyway, going back to that, let me show you on my YouTube. You can actually go to my YouTube and get notified of this event. It's going to be on Saturday, April 5th. Let me try to find the banner, and it's going to be so good. A lot of the people that were here on Relationship Coaching Live, they're going to be on this live, and it's a marathon. It's a streamathon. So here, let me see if I can share screen, if it lets me do that. Share screen. Let me see, window. Okay, here it is. So here it is. You can see it. Your Journey to Joyful Living streamathon. And I am telling you guys, it's going to be bomb. It's going to be so good. So let me show you who is going to be on it. Dr. Katie Eastman. She's going to talk about change and loss, how to deal with change and loss. There's going to be also Elizabeth Hamilton Moreno. She's going to talk about success and change. Then Dr. Brian King is going to talk about how to heal with laughter. Andy Roach is going to talk, Coach Andy is going to talk about how to heal from PTSD, complex PTSD, which most of us suffer from that. Then I have Coach Glendon. I think we're still trying to figure out the topic with her, but I think she's going to talk about how to be confident. Then I'm going to have Pat Finn from Rubicon, who's amazing. I took his workshop. He's great. How to achieve your goals. And then my friend Marcia Wall, who is going to talk about how to get a job that you love. She's a job specialist. All these people are experts, and it's going to be a marathon, a streamathon, nonstop streaming, you guys. It's going to be so good. You're going to love it. So I hope that I can see you there, because I know that, you can ask. Some of them are going to be pre-recorded because they could not make the live, but some of them are going to be like live right there. I'm going to be hosting it. I'm going to be on it too. I'm going to talk about how to lead a joyful life, how to incorporate joy in your life. And Carlos Eaton, who co-hosted my comedy streamathon, he's going to interview me. So we have tons of experts. You guys, watch out for that. So let me see. Okay. So I'm going to have to say goodbye, but it's time. This is what I want to tell you as a closing thought. It's time to protect your peace, honor your worth, and step into relationships that nourish you. Start by setting one small boundary today and watch how it transforms your dating life. And if this resonated, share it with someone who needs a little boundary love in their life. Let me know in the comments how you're embracing your boundaries, because I'm cheering for you every step of the way. Check the pinned comment for the free guide. That is a summary of this live. It's available at the stateofgraceshop.com. Let me put the ticker right here. And also, if you want to actually hear all my websites where you can get content, subscribe to my Patreon. I have a 7-day free trial on my Patreon, and I'm dropping Maurice the French Ladies Man, which is hilarious. There's going to be some behind the scenes also on Patreon that I'm going to start incorporating. I have tons of shows there. I have hundreds of posts at this point, and it's only $5.99 a month, but you can get the free trial for 7 days and see if you like it. And I drop 3 shows, 2 to 3, depending on the length of the show, 2 to 3 per week. So not a bad deal, okay? And you can get discounted relationship coach sessions and discounted merch. There's a code there, a secret code that's available on the page. You can get tons of stuff there. And here is my beautiful friend, Jessie. See you soon, Grace. Yes, see you soon. Thank you for being here, my dear. I love you dearly, and I love you guys too. Of course, I love you. I love you, and I appreciate you being here. And by the way, next time on YouTube, if you bring a friend, I will send you a free gift. Yes, you heard me right. Bring a friend. Make sure the friend says, hey, this person brought me. Bring a friend on YouTube. And if you're watching from X, please make sure that that you join on YouTube if you want, because that's more fun. I can see the comments faster and stuff. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you have a lovely day. I love you. And I will see you very soon. Bye. Dating is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is full of frogs and weird DMs. But who says you can't have fun while you're searching for that needle or prince? Say goodbye to dating disasters and hello to love that lights up your world. In Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating, I spill all the secrets to navigating the dating scene with grace, humor, and just the right amount of sass. Whether you're swiping left or making eye contact across the room, I'll show you how to attract love like a magnet. It's time to stop waiting for love and start living it. Get your copy of Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating today, and let the magic begin.